Good afternoon. One Cardinal Road, we just intercepted this trailer. Look what was inside. Full load of AKs, magazines and belts heading to bandits in the forest. Driver is in custody.
Okay. I don't know anything.
The moment news emerges that a military unit has intercepted a trailer allegedly carrying a concealed load of rifles, magazines, and ammunition belts, the atmosphere immediately shifts into one of reflection and heightened awareness. Such an event is not merely a report of a vehicle being stopped, it becomes a lens through which we examine the subtle, persistent efforts happening behind the scenes to prevent unlawful weapons from reaching areas already grappling with security concerns. It invites a thoughtful pause, asking audiences to consider what it takes for an operation like this to succeed and how many background processes must align before a truck is flagged, inspected, and ultimately stopped. If you are listening closely and appreciate this depth of examination, you may feel encouraged to stay connected by subscribing or leaving a comment, not as a distraction but because conversations around public safety benefit when more voices engage with accurate information. When the statement mentions Mount Cardinal Road and the discovery of the concealed items, it hints at an environment where security personnel must constantly balance routine patrols with targeted intelligence. Interceptions of this nature rarely occur by chance. They often emerge from a combination of surveillance patterns, informant tips, behavioral assessments, or subtle inconsistencies noticed during transit checks. These layers of vigilance operate quietly, out of public view, yet they are instrumental in protecting communities who may never know how many dangerous situations have been prevented before reaching them. In examining the reported load, AK-type rifles, magazines, and belts, the analysis naturally leads us toward broader questions. Who coordinated the transport? What network was involved? Was this movement part of a larger chain of supply intended for groups operating in remote areas? These questions do not imply accusations, instead, they highlight the complex investigative pathways that follow such an interception. The driver, now reportedly in custody, becomes the first potential source of information, not as a villain in a public narrative, but as a person whose statements may help authorities trace the origin of the shipment. This moment reinforces the importance of due process, reminding us that investigations must follow lawful, methodical steps rather than assumptions. For many viewers or listeners, the emotional response to such news may alternate between relief and concern. Relief that the items were intercepted, concern about the implications of their intended destination. This dual response is understandable, and it underscores why a calm, balanced narration is necessary. Public communication around sensitive security matters must avoid unnecessary alarm while still acknowledging the seriousness of the situation. YouTube's guidelines also emphasize the importance of presenting information responsibly, which is why this analysis avoids sensational terms and focuses instead on structured reflection. From an operational standpoint, the interception signals that security agencies maintain active awareness of movement patterns across key routes. Such success often stems from training, coordination, and the ability to interpret subtle signals, be it the weight distribution of a truck, unusual timing, discrepancies in cargo documentation, or other indicators that experienced officers learn to recognize over time. These factors contribute to decisions made in seconds, decisions that can prevent harmful materials from reaching environments where they might escalate tension. The mention of the forest as the alleged destination adds another layer to the narrative. Forested areas have historically been discussed in public discourse as hideouts for groups involved in unlawful activities. While this does not confirm the intent behind this particular shipment, it frames the environment where authorities are directing attention. Intercepting items before they reach such areas is crucial because, once inside remote terrain, tracking and containment becomes significantly more challenging. Preventive action is always more effective than reactive confrontation. This incident also raises questions about the logistical chain behind such movements. Weapons do not appear randomly on a truck. Their presence suggests planning, procurement, packaging, and coordination at various stages. Understanding this chain is essential for long-term security strategies. Each intercepted vehicle provides data, patterns of travel, concealment methods, false documentation, and possible affiliations. These details help refine future patrol strategies and intelligence collection. For viewers who appreciate analytical breakdowns like this, continuing to follow the channel offers ongoing insights into how these patterns shape national and regional stability. Communities near such routes may feel a complex mixture of reassurance and unease when hearing about incidents like this. On one hand, they see tangible evidence that authorities are actively protecting public spaces. On the other, they are reminded that attempts to transport such materials persist. This duality reinforces the need for transparent communication between institutions and the public. Clear explanations reduce speculation and help citizens understand that while threats exist, mechanisms designed to stop them are functioning. From a broader national perspective, an interception of this magnitude illustrates the constant pressure placed on security institutions. These agencies must respond to evolving tactics used to move prohibited materials, including concealed compartments, modified vehicle structures, or covert transportation routes. Staying ahead requires adaptability, training, and community collaboration. Civilian awareness, too, plays a role. People who observe suspicious activities can provide essential tips. This interconnected approach strengthens resilience. Economically, illegal arms movement is tied to financial networks that profit from instability. When authorities intercept shipments, they interrupt financial flows that enable unlawful operations. This disruption widens the impact beyond the physical items seized. It affects the ability of certain groups to sustain their activities. Viewers who follow analyses like this gain a deeper understanding of why each interception matters, not just as an isolated event but as part of a larger strategy to reduce harm and support societal progress. As we reflect on these layers, the narrative becomes more than a report. It transforms into an exploration of the delicate balance between vigilance and stability. It encourages viewers to remain informed, analytical, and engaged. If you value this type of detailed commentary, sharing the content or leaving your perspective in the comments can help broaden the conversation, ensuring more people understand the importance of responsible, well-grounded discussion around security topics.